Alright, so I've closed $1,500 in my first day launching my offer, and I've already gotten a sales call booked in this week as well. So in this video, I'll both be showing what I'm doing right now in order to scale up to $50,000 per month within just 3 months of launch. That being said, there will be some crazy sauce in this video that will be applicable regardless of how much you're netting or making per month. Just a little bit about myself. I'm literally nothing special, just an average university student with no advantages or upfront money to invest. And I didn't come from any sort of super crazy privileged household or anything like that. I've also turned down 4 marketing internship offers that I myself applied to, and I only interviewed for one of them, but still, it was so that I could go all in on my business. And the whole point is that many people might call that stupid, but I think it's the right move. Because over the past 4 years, I've gone through much blood, sweat, and tears trying out so many different business models such as copywriting, email marketing, freelance brand e-com scaling, and clipping for famous people. And really all of them worked, but it was just my habits that were so dog shit until I simply couldn't go down that route of being lazy anymore and I had to change something. So I got my shit together and found something that really just made sense to me, which brings me here. But I digress from that. So I'm documenting my journey with full-on transparency from 0 to 50K plus a month using my appointment setting and content business. So to simplify what my company actually does, I run a content agency. So we help businesses with ideation, scripting, recording, editing, and posting videos, and also help with effectively and efficiently operating their funnel. Meaning if you visualize any business funnel as an upside down triangle, and at the top you have the eyeballs or viewers, then in the middle, we help nurture them and turn them into willing prospects. And then they buy or book a sales call at the bottom. And we just make that process a whole lot smoother by providing systems or advice that do so, while the videos are the actual bulk of what we do. So now let's actually get on to what this video is about, showing off both the internals of my company and displaying how you can scale up to 50K plus very, very fast. All right, so you are 3 months away from 50K per month, and I'll explain exactly where those numbers come from. Okay, so this is 2 days ago, I launched the offer, and I also have another sales call booked this week, and this is not the crux of this video, it's just to show how powerful this offer actually is. Right here, short-term goal 30K per month. I'll explain where this came from as well. Okay, starting off, we have this logo right here. Golden Hue Creations, that's the name of the company. This was just a simple logo. This is meant to be gold right here. This was made on Canva. Now if I zoom out, this is the more complex logo, which is made with an AI software. It's called Looka, just online. But this shouldn't take you a long time because the logo isn't very important when it actually comes to the business. Okay. So before actually scaling up your business to any level, especially when it is an agency model, one thing that you need to do is get clear about what is actually happening in your business. And for an agency model, this is a content agency, the best way to do that is by understanding and creating these 3 things: your offer, your systems and fulfillment, and your client acquisition. These need to be dialed in. And an example would be of understanding what's happening in your business would be let's say someone told you to fix your marketing. So what does that actually mean? For me, it would mean okay, I look at my client acquisition, I see that my emails are performing terribly, so I need to do more DMs and less emails. It's pretty straightforward. But you need to get clear about everything first. Okay, getting into the offer statement. I help X person achieve certain dream result within a certain time frame by doing X service. So for me, what this offer statement looks like is I help busy entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants, and agencies achieve $100,000 per month revenue goals and follower goals within 3 months by systematizing their content creation process. So 3 things that are key for the offer are the dream result, the time at which you will provide that dream result, and price at which you do that. So for me, what this looks like is $0 upfront is charged, $0 monthly, and the goal or the outcome that I'm providing is 30,000 followers or established revenue goal within 3 months, or else you do not pay. So there are a few reasons why this is so powerful. So first of all, there is absolutely 0 barrier to entry for the customer. There is no risk that they put up. The entire risk is on me. Another thing, there's a super low cost of actually acquiring customers. And I'll talk about that later in client acquisition, but I don't have to pay anything to actually acquire customers. Another thing is it brings in a very high volume of leads because it's free and everyone loves free stuff. So next up, we have 60 shorts using 2 hours of your time per month. Within the content agency space, this is a very, very common deliverable, and it's also a very, very common mistake. Normally, people in their offers talk about their deliverables, they talk about their follower goals, the viewer goals, and all of that is terrible. You do not want to be doing that. The two things that are actually effective when talking about your offer are revenue goals and clients, which is basically the clients bring you money. So they're basically a part of the revenue. And obviously over here, I say more than 30K followers, but then I also mention the established revenue goal, which makes it unique. Okay, next up, we have 3 long form videos per week using 1 to 2 hours of your time each week. This is just another deliverable. This is also an example of one of those boring long form videos in which they talk about the technicalities of what's actually happening within the business or the life of the founder. Okay, next up, we have small upfront and larger retainer upon guaranteed fulfillment. By the way, this is called reverse-based pricing. Out of all the pricing models, I think that this is the most effective because it has the lowest risk for your customer, and it also allows you to generate more value, which is what you're getting paid in exchange for. So like, for example, I have this guarantee right here, and for me, it's actually $0 upfront before the retainer actually comes. Only after I have already made you that money. And that's a principle I'm going to talk about later. Okay, so right here we have systems and fulfillment. So how do I actually deliver the service that I have promised? So right here, I handle research, ideation, scripting, some of the editing, quality checking, and posting. So these are 6 things that are required for the content creation process. Okay, over here, Trello board with video editing progress. This is just a lot of people in the agency space like using Notion for this, but it's just pretty simple. So basically, as the content, or there's like a certain piece of content or an idea that goes through these phases that I talked about. So editing, so let's say something goes from like editing to being quality checked to like you need to confirm it with the client before actually posting it. So the progress will all be tracked through Trello, which is, I just find it very, very simple. So that's why I use it. Next, Slack or Instagram communication with the clients. Before you actually scale up, you want to know where your client communication is happening. You want everything to be neat and tidy in one place. So you know, business, I need to go on Slack or Instagram. That's exactly why I only keep my communication here and sometimes use SMS and phone, but that's only for emergencies. Next up, editors are hired in advance and surveilled. Hiring an editor is actually a very lengthy and burdensome process, which is why I haven't actually gone through and hired any editors. Normally what I do is I just ask some of my friends for help and pay them in exchange for the work that they do. Next, client acquisition. 3 outreach methods plus 1 inbound. Or in another video, I'll talk about the exact like details of how I do all these things and what my exact like outreach scripts and things look like and what my metrics are, why I think that these are actually effective. But right now I'm just gonna discuss them. Okay, so I do Loom emails. This is, you send a video that is embedded within an email, and it is completely 100% personalized. And the reason I like this so much is you can see exactly where you lose the prospect. For example, you know that the email hasn't been opened. That means your subject line might suck. You know that the person left 30 seconds into the Loom video. You can track all that stuff. And so it's like, I know that my hook for the Loom video might have been good, but the actual bulk of the information is trash. So I need to change that so that I can retain the person throughout the Loom video and get them booked into a call. Next up, Dream 100 IGDMs. This is just send 100 IGDMs. Pretty straightforward. Inbound lead channels. This is IG and YouTube channel, and this is the YouTube channel right here where everything is 100% transparent and I'm showing the day in the life. And we have IG right here, and that is just Instagram, which is another inbound channel alongside the TikTok and all the other personal branding elements, which I'll talk about later. But the third outreach method, which is very, very underrated, crazy sauce. If I'm like selling to home improvement people, for example, and I know that they stay in a Facebook page or like a Facebook group or a Discord, go into that Facebook group, go into the Discord and jump inside that voice call. Like for me, it's agencies. I know agencies can be in a certain Discord. I will go jump in that voice call to find those potential friends, potential clients, and potential people that can give me testimonials. For example, if I'm offering free work to someone when you're first starting out, you can ask people like, okay, I'll sit down and script videos for you or with you and build your personal brand for 2 hours And I'll do it not for money, but in exchange for a video testimonial in which you state that I actually know what I'm talking about. That's a very, very effective strategy. Okay, so now when you actually compile all these elements of acquisition and you see what they look like in the grander scheme of things, right here, we got the inbound channels that operate as a flywheel. So this means that the people from TikTok go over to YouTube, and the people from YouTube go over to Instagram, and the people from TikTok go over to Instagram, and they all just populate each other, which allows people to enter your ecosystem and become familiar with what you're actually selling, what you do, and that brings them closer to eventually buying the service. And this is also something we try to replicate for the people that we work with. Okay, so over here we have onboarding form. I don't have a VSL yet because I do not mind having customers or people that I talk to or book a call with that don't exactly know one-to-one what our product looks like, because I don't mind talking them through and taking them through that entire process. Because I'm not going to spend the time right now when the offer has just launched to go over a VSL. I don't have like any insane type of traffic like that I can't handle it with just calls. So I just have an onboarding form. You can also see it below this video if you want to work with me. So basically I take everyone books a call, we talk on the call, and I offer them this free trial. It's actually, the entire service is free for 3 months. But actually one caveat that I have for this is you need to make sure that you do not get overwhelmed with the amount of work that you take in. So you need to be very sure that the people that you allow into this program are actually, this is going to work. You want to be almost certain that the guarantee you have within 3 months is actually going to work with the people that you take on. Because otherwise, you're just going to get overwhelmed with a crap ton of work, and there's not really going to even be a finish line when you actually know that the work is going to pay off, you're going to get paid, and you're going to generate your client the money so that they can actually pay you. All right, so right here we have 30K plus followers or revenue goal guaranteed offer, which is the offer that I'm running. So right here, I have this because I want all the reviews to be public. I want transparent prices, client timelines. I want to put online like exactly what I'm doing so that I can get feedback and refine my business processes. Okay, so over here, we have personal brand maintenance. So like, what do I do so that people can see what I'm actually doing? So 2 tweets per day, 10 Twitter replies to people in the niche who are bigger than me by like 2,000 followers, constant lead magnet giveaways. This is like edits, scripts, hooks, CTAs, free videos for people. I can sit down with you and make you a video. This is very, very effective, like I said before. And I'm pretty sure Alex Hormozi also used this with like literally every single one of his internal documents, like $100 million leads, offers, all his books and all his scaling roadmaps. He just publicized them even though they used to be internal documents, because they are very, very valuable as lead magnets to actually bring people into your business. Okay. Next up, we have 3 YouTube videos per week. This is one of them. And next, we have 3 LinkedIn posts on the personal account. That's like Arav Kumar account, personal account. And then right here, we have 2 business posts on LinkedIn, which is like under the Golden Q Creations company account. Next up, we have 10 to 30 reels per month when you're just starting out. This could be something like documenting the journey of the founder. It can also be something like you talk about the credible experiences of other people, or you talk about your own credible experiences and things you have, like, let's say, for example, like, I've just studied 1,500 different Instagram accounts, and I can teach you how to optimize yours based on that. Like, it's just going over things that actually are valuable and giving people a reason to listen to you. Next up, we have mechanisms. Simplify everything. Elon Musk strategy. So this is actually first principle thinking. So boiling down things to the fundamental truth of what they actually are in a very, very simple way that even a child could understand, which is exactly what we do with this which I said in the start with this offer, systems and fulfillment, client acquisition. It's a simple 3-part breakdown of any sort of business or agency model. Okay, next up, we have USPs, unique selling proposition. This is something that is unique about your business and your customer will actually end up remembering. Okay, so the things that I do that are unique: complete YouTube documentation. If you stay within the bubble of people that actually make these YouTube videos, these boring niche down micro niche videos about specific details, this only happens in a bubble. Like, this is not something that is super, super common that every content agency is actually doing. Another thing that's unique is reputation. So my reputation depends on the success of my clients. This is exactly why I'm willing to go hell and back for them. So what does that even mean? I have this guarantee for 3 months. However, I'm willing to go hell and back for them, meaning that if we're not gonna hit that revenue goal, I might start doing outbound for you. I might start reaching out to people and doing DMs for you. And why? It's because their reputation or my reputation depends on them, right? And their performance. And so even if I don't end up hitting that guarantee, I will still have a beautiful case study that I have just built. And just coming back to that and being willing to put in extra effort for that client shows absolute character and that you are willing to go hell and back for the client. Next up, we help you make money before we charge you. This is just a very, very logical way of operating a business, especially when it's a service-based business, which is pay on results. And especially when you're first starting out, this is by far the best way to go in order to scale quickly. Next, unique methodology of delivering results. So this is a question you want to ask, like, what is my unique methodology of delivering results when it comes to generating your unique selling proposition? So like, for me, it would be like, okay, 30K plus followers, I bring you 100K per month revenue, or whatever your established goal is, we establish on the call. It's like, we go over what is unique about how I deliver results. Next up, we have how much time the customer spends working, what do they work on, and how. So you need to know what is the next thing that they need to work on. It's like, do you need to work on your scripting? Do you need to work on recording certain amounts of videos? How are you actually going to record those videos? How long do you think it's going to take you? What are some of the things you want to talk about? Get through all of the processes of what you actually need to do. If in your client's business or in your business, you do not know what the next thing is that you need to work on, that can be very, very harmful to the business, because you should always know what actually comes next. Okay, next up, we have beliefs or heuristics. So this is like, first one, maximize important efficiency. So this comes back to first principle thinking. Generally, I think this is true. The most productive thing that a business could be doing is speaking to its customers or potential customers. So that would be creating content, which we handle, and taking care of sales calls. So we want this entire systems and fulfillment process, and this is also to be automated. And that is also why information products are so effective. It's because they have a completely automated systems and fulfillment process. They do not need to be delivered like a service. Instead, it's just like a product. You sell it once and you don't have to do anything on the back end. So the founder, when they're focusing on only talking to their customers, and they also have the opportunity to, like, obviously build on the future of the business, then that is what is most important, and therefore we maximize for what is most important. Next up, data first, lesson second. This is a lesson I learned from Alex Hormozi, which is like I explained it well for the Loom emails. Like, if you know that your outbound in a certain way isn't working as per the data, then you know you should change that up. Next, make the right decision instantaneously. This is something that comes from Navy SEAL Jocko Willink, which is like the time that is in between when you think of the right thing to do and when you actually do it should be absolutely minimized. So the time between idea and action should be as less as possible. Next up, if you need to think about something, the answer is no. This comes from Naval Ravikant, who is like a billionaire, I'm pretty sure. So what it basically means is that nowadays we're so flooded with information that if you need to think about something for a prolonged period of time, the answer is probably no. Another comment that I have to make on this is, like, when it comes to like sales calls, I see this a lot on sales calls. Like, people bring up that objection of I need to think about it. And normally the way that in B2C sales, which is like business to customer sales, people handle that objection is by getting behind the actual objection and trying to understand, like, okay, what is there that you need to think about? Is it like a fear objection? Is it like a trust objection? Like, what do you actually need to think about? And it's like, what I think about this is, if someone gives me that objection, I will just lay down all the cards. I'll be like, okay, here's the information. I'll email it all to you. Certainly take the time that you need to think about it. And a lot of the times the result that comes from that is that they're like shocked at the fact that I'm actually not going to hard sell them on something that they needed to think about. And oftentimes they come back and become a future sale. And the reason behind that is because they are never at any point overwhelmed with that decision. And a lot of the time, if we also, in my case, or if you look forward to following this third belief, which is making the right decision, then you would have already made the correct decision if that was actually what was good for you. Okay, next up, we have tools. Obviously, you need to know what's going on in your business, so tools are very, very important. We have G Suite, YouTube, Instagram, ChatGPT, vidIQ. vidIQ is just for YouTube thumbnails, titles, ideas, and so this is very, very effective for that. ViewStats is also another YouTube analytics website or software, which is just to show the performance of one video versus the performance of a channel on average, or many other analytics as well. Next up, we have Miro, which is exactly where this presentation is taking place. Canva is just graphic design, very, very beautiful logo, and you can just very, very easily come up with thumbnails, all types of stuff. Okay, next up, Stripe, payment processing, that's what I use. Next up, we have CapCut, DaVinci Resolve, very, very underrated for editing high quality videos. We have Trello, which is like, once again, to track the processes of content creation. We have Slack, which is in order to talk to the team, talk to the people you work with. SMS sometimes, same purpose, talk to the people you work with. TikTok is just another personal brand channel. Loom, in order to send videos to people. Lemlist, which is to send emails to people, and I like it because it's what I've been using my whole life. And then next up we have Twitter and other branding elements, which is just everything from up here, personal brand maintenance. What do I do so that people can see my business and what I'm doing? Next up, Discord. I have my own Discord community linked in the bio. It's called Golden Creations. If you already run a successful business or are looking to start a business, regardless of where you are at in that journey, just join up and you can find some like-minded people. It's brand new and I'm trying to get it populated. Lastly, we have SortFeed. It's just a Chrome extension or a tool that helps do research for short form content. When it comes to Instagram, you can go to the Reels section under anyone's account and filter it based on views or any other type of engagement, and then turn all that information into a nice Excel doc. So that really, really helps when it comes to research. So I guarantee you, on the condition that you actually take the right actions, that the time you spent watching this video should not go to waste. I strongly believe that the world needs more entrepreneurs, and that requires simple but powerful information. And my main goal is to be able to share that with you, and I really, really hope I was able to do that.